Britain's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has resigned less than 2 years after winning a landslide election victory. Starmer was elected in 2024 on the promise of change. After 14 years of Conservative rule, voters were frustrated by a stagnant economy, high levels of immigration, and years of political turmoil. But many voters felt that Keir Starmer's government failed to deliver. A series of policy reversals, internal disputes, and continuing concern about the cost of living and immigration caused his popularity to collapse. Now, attention is turning to the man widely expected to replace him, Andy Burnham. If you're an American and haven't heard of him, think of Burnham as a popular governor or a big city mayor who has spent years building a national profile outside of Washington and is now being called upon to rescue his party. Until last week, Burnham was the mayor of Greater Manchester, a metropolitan region of nearly 3 million people in northern England. He recently returned to Parliament by winning a special election in Makerfield, a working class district that has become a key political battleground.
So I hope that Andrew Burnham does win.
So you're quite sympathetic to Andy Burnham?
Yes! That victory mattered because Makerfield is exactly the kind of place Labour has been struggling to hold on to. Once a reliable Labour stronghold, voters there have increasingly drifted towards Nigel Farage's right-wing populist Reform UK, driven by concerns about immigration, economic decline and living standards.
What are your biggest concerns?
Immigration, 100%.
Many Labour politicians now believe Burnham is better placed than Starmer to win back those voters. So who is Andy Burnham? Although he often presents himself as an outsider, Burnham is actually a veteran politician. He served in senior government positions under former Labour Prime Ministers Tony Blair and Gordon Brown. He spent 16 years in Parliament before becoming Mayor of Greater Manchester in 2017. As Mayor, he built a reputation as a champion of Northern England, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, when he publicly challenged then Prime Minister Boris Johnson over financial support for his region. His supporters see him as more relatable, more instinctively political, and more connected to working class communities than Keir Starmer. Critics, however, see something very different. They view Burnham as a political shapeshifter that has adapted his views depending on the political moment. And that raises an important question. How different would Burnham's government actually be? Many of the issues that weakened Keir Starmer, including immigration, economic growth, and public services, would still confront Burnham. Critics argue that whilst he may have a different communication style, he is yet to explain how his policies would be substantially different from the government that he is about to inherit. So how can Burnham become Prime Minister without winning a national election? This is where British politics differs significantly from America. Britons do not directly vote for a Prime Minister. Instead, they vote for local members of Parliament, the leader of the party which can command a majority in Parliament, generally speaking, becomes Prime Minister. That means a governing party can replace both its leader and the Prime Minister without holding a national election. Britain has done this several times in recent years. Boris Johnson was forced out by his own party and replaced by Liz Truss. Truss lasted 49 days before being replaced by Rishi Sunak. Voters were not asked to vote again in either case. If Labour chooses Burnham as the next leader, he could become Prime Minister within weeks. The stakes are high. Labour is betting that Burnham can reconnect with working class voters before the next general election. Whether he succeeds could shape the future of Britain's politics for years to come.